Hey there, this is Jan from Candidately. In this video, I will show you how to create your first submission using Candidately right from within Bullhorn. Let's get started. First of all, open a job in Bullhorn where you already have candidates submitted internally and you want to get those candidates now submitted to your client. Now hit the Candidately tab on the Bullhorn section here, which will be probably next to your submissions or files. And now we'll have the option to create the link that we'll be sharing. So usually this link will get a name. We automatically pull the job title and the number from Bullhorn. You can always edit that. Basically, this is the name of that link that the customer will see. So next I'll hit create. Now I will have the option to add the candidates to my submission. So typically, if I have more than one candidate already internally submitted in Bullhorn, those candidates will all show up here, and you can now pick the latest resume of each candidate. Typically, candidates have multiple files attached to their profile in Bullhorn. All those files will show up here with the file type. Usually it's the resume or formatted resume, so you can then select that. Candidately will now parse in the resume into the system. So you will see that the candidate's profile will be created. I can see here we have Martha, the business operations manager. And now before I share the profile to the customer, I can do a final step and review the candidate and add additional data points. Typically those would be things like availability, a recruiter note, maybe the candidate's salary. So you can see we pre-filled the candidate's name, first and last name, as well as the job title. This is how it would look like for my client. We also give you a recommendation on skills. So for example, in this case, I can pick a couple predefined skills here that we have detected on the resume. So it's just easier for you to add them. You can see we detected also the years of experience, and now I could add things like availability. I could also say that the candidate is willing to relocate to other states, cities, or countries, and my candidate's hourly salary or bill rate would be $100. I can also change that to a daily salary or a monthly salary, as well as switch to a rate range if needed. In addition to that, I would like to add a recruiter note. So this is typically the write-up why this candidate is really a good fit for that role. We have the option to use the AI generated suggestion here and then extend that with our own text, or just copy paste the recruiter note that you have written for the candidate. In addition, we have what we call custom fields. So if there is any other fields that you would like to show to your client, and this could be, for example, a LinkedIn profile, maybe additional documents about the candidate's portfolio, maybe a skill test, all of that is possible. You'll find one of the next videos where I explain how to create custom fields, and then from there, those fields will show up here. So this is pretty much customizable however you like, so you can add any fields or documents to that submission package. All right, so I'm pretty much ready to go. I will set my candidate active now. I will activate the link on the top right, so click that button and now share it with my client. In this step, Candidately automatically suggests the client contacts that are attached to the job in Bullhorn. So you can see here, I have John Doe, my customer from Facebook. I can attach a message as well. So I could write something like, hey, John, here's a great candidate for your business operations manager role, and then basically send the submission to my customer. That's it. That's how you essentially create your submission using Candidately right from within Bullhorn. And in the next step, I will show you how your customers will perceive that submission, what they will see, what they have to do, and how they can respond to it. All right, let's take a look at the client's perspective when you share your submission with the client. So this is what the customer would see. Now I'm at the customer, so I basically opened my Gmail account and I can see an email from you. In this case, my example staffing company here is TalentBird, so I see TalentBird's logo, their name, as well as James Morris, who is the account manager there, the message and the picture. So as a customer, I just simply need to click the View Candidates button, which will now take me to that link that will be fully branded in your staffing company's identity. So it would have your logo, it would have your header, it would have your fav icon here on the top. And now as a customer, I don't need to sign up or log in. I can just simply scroll through the candidates that you're presenting and now view the detailed candidate profile. So this is what I would see. I would see the actual resume. So this would be the formatted resume or the resume file that you had in Bullhorn in the middle of the screen. Candidly is not reformatting the resume, so it would be the actual PDF or doc file that you had saved in Bullhorn. On the left-hand side, you would find all of the additional data points that you have added. This would be things like the recruiter notes, maybe additional details about the candidate, things like the salary, availability, location, skills, and so on. So any custom field that you have created would also show up here. And then the really cool thing is that my customer has now all of the details in one place, so they don't have to go back and forth in emails. They would see the resume, any additional files, and the candidate's detail on that view, and can give me feedback really quickly. So they can use the messenger on the right hand side. This is actually a live chat, so it connects the client with you or your team. So the client could come in here and say they are not interested in the candidate, so they could add a decline reason and then send that to you. That reason and status automatically syncs back into Bullhorn. So we would sync the rejection reason as well as attach the rejection status to that candidate record in Bullhorn. And the same is true for requesting an interview. So my customer could come in here and say they are available at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then send that interview request directly to your team. So whoever is assigned from your team to that submission, this is usually the recruiter or account manager, they would receive an email notification immediately that the customer wants to speak with this candidate. We would sync that communication back to the candidate record on the notes section in Bullhorn, but we would also attach an interview status to that candidate in Bullhorn. So it's pretty cool because your customer has a very easy way to review your candidate and very quickly give you feedback. Either they like or don't like the candidate, and they can very quickly send that over to you, so your team has a very easy way to collaborate now and continue scheduling the candidates' interviews. All right, this is pretty much it, how you can create your first submission in Candidly, basically right from within your Bullhorn account. You saw what your clients will see, and in the next couple of videos, we'll dive into some of the details of that workflow. See you soon.